are back with Brunch, a Taste of Tobago. And you know, one of the things that I absolutely love is this really cross section of people that I see on the set each and every time I'm with you. And of course, my next guest is no different. I'm speaking to Miss Lisa Beckles, one of the team leaders for God's Anatomy for Marriage. GAM is the acronym. And of course, Pastor Frank C. Obiora, Assistant Regional Coordinator, Christ Chapel International. And of course, the Gathering of Men. We're going to be speaking about that wonderful initiative and event that is going to be taking place. So let me say good morning to Queen Lisa. Thank you for being a part of Brunch, a Taste of Tobago. And of course, good morning to Pastor Obiora. Thank you so much for joining us. So let's delve in. Good morning again. The Gathering of Men. Tell me about that concept.
Okay, so the Gathering of Men is the first initiative actually of what is known as God's Anatomy for Leadership. It's one of the newer ministries of God's Anatomy for Marriage. So we really need to go back there. So God's Anatomy for Marriage was something birthed in October 2020 by Reverend Ruth Lawrence. And the mission of God's Anatomy for Marriage, which is the umbrella overarching organization, is to bring renewal and wholeness to marital unions and to fortify those who are now entering those gates of marriage using God's redemptive and restorative ideals as found in the Word of God.
Yes.
So from that, the first activity or project was a 21-day intensive for the institution of marriage where different couples came together, different teaching, and really the testimonies out of that were just amazing. And over these just over 3 years, different ministry arms have come out as a result, and the focus now is on leadership. But we can't talk about leadership in our societies unless we deal with the matter of men rising to their ordained places of leading the families so that we could see difference in our communities. And hence now this initiative, the Gathering of Men, where men from across Trinidad and Tobago will be coming together to be empowered to reconnect with the sons. So the theme is turning the hearts of the fathers back to the sons.
Yes.
So we bring in men from all ages. Now, when I say we, I will not be there. No woman will be around. So men, this is just the opportunity for you to come together and be ministered to, be taught different things that maybe you didn't have your own father to teach you. So it would be a teaching time, would be a time of worship. There'll be a special time of blessing for firstborn sons in particular. There would be a special blessing pronounced upon them all during this time.
Wow. And you know, I love the words that you use, empowering, you know, and bringing hope. It brings so much hope and love into what it is that you guys are doing. It's a wonderful initiative because we have had the conversation where we speak about our men, but we speak about them in a sense of not being where they need to be, not being in that role of leadership. And over the years, we have seen the decline.
Definitely.
In our men and what they need to be doing, where they stand in society. I remember saying once that, you know, we trash the men so much. We brush them aside. We brush their needs and wants under the carpet. And sometimes some of us are guilty of not adhering to the issues that men have, because it's not just about women. We bring a lot of our woman realities and conversations to the forefront, but our men seem to not have that equal platform in which they can express what they feel. So this is such a wonderful initiative. It's such a wonderful place to be.
Most
Yeah.
definitely.
What? You
So
go.
this initiative, it's an in-person event, and it takes place from the 25th to the 27th in Trinidad.
Right.
Now, I know men from Tobago go to Trinidad all the time for all sorts of things, and this is why we thought it important to include this program, this addressing of the men of Tobago, and really encourage you to be a part of it. So on the 25th, it takes place at what was formerly the Calvary Revival Center. It's now called the Dr. Levi Duncan Convention Center, and it starts with worship encounter, are men only. So men, singers, background people, everything,
Yeah,
men, focus,
man
coming
power in
together
there.
to worship God together.
Yes.
Tomorrow, the 25th, from 6 to 9 p.m. That's it's in Chaguanas, Southern Mainwood, Chaguanas. It's all free. All the events are free, right? So there's
Yes.
no financial hindrance to your being there. And then now on the 26th and 27th, that's Friday and Saturday, from 8 to 4:30, we have the actual gathering of men of all ages. Men, please bring your sons out and
Yes,
have
yes.
this powerful time of teaching, prayer, worship. So we have Pastor Frank Obiora from Nigeria, who you'll hear in a few minutes. And in addition, we have local speakers, great speakers such as Apostle J. Vernon Duncan. He's from Divine Encounter Fellowship Ministries in Dabadee, and is fairly well known as a speaker for men. We also have Reverend Don Hamilton, pastor and Power leader, who is a noted counselor as well, who has been doing a lot of teaching for men. Then there's the Reverend Douglas Gibson. He's on the Open Bible, one of the Embarcadero Open Bible Church pastors, but also he is the founder of what was Christian Solidarity Movement, now the Solidarity Institute for Life, which also teaches a lot on solidarity, on family life and relationships. So it's going to be a lot of focus on restoring relationships, on helping men to relate better for the elevation of our families. So we're really excited about this.
Yeah, and it's wonderful because Pastor Obiora is here with us. Are you there? I'm feeling your presence. Good morning to you and welcome to Brunch, A Taste of Tobago. I was just speaking with the beautiful Lisa Beckles, and she spoke so highly of this initiative and of course of you. And I'm so glad that you are with us today. So let me just ask you, just in case no one has done that today, how are you doing this morning? Okay, so we have just a bit of a technical issue right there, but we're going to fix it. Don't worry, we're going to come right back with Pastor Obiora, but let's continue with Lisa.
Okay.
You were about to expand on something and then we
Yes.
cut and we went across. So
Also,
let's
I need to
continue.
mention, what I needed to mention is that we need persons to register for the event because we're going to cater for meals and so on. So we really would like you to register, and you may do that at our website. It's www.godsanatomyformarriage.com. So www.godsanatomyformarriage.com /events. So it will take you directly to where you can register. I'll repeat that, www.godsanatomyformarriage.com /events. So please register and get yourself down. If you are male, man, boy,
Boy.
teen,
Yes.
please be there, as much of it as you can.
What's the interest like? Is there a really immense buzz about the event?
Definitely there is. I checked probably on the weekend and we were already over 100 or so. We looking at 300. I think by now we probably have it. So I'm just encouraging men to really register and get out there. I'd also mention with our aim of catering to as wide a range of men as possible, we've kept this event free. So with that, sponsorship has been involved, and we are still in need of sponsorship. So if you are led to really invest in this, men in this way, you can contact Reverend Lawrence at 363-6234. I'll repeat that. It's 363-6234 for Reverend Lawrence. You can also get further information if maybe you're a pastor or so at that particular number. I would mention one of the things is that we were not just having a conference where you come 1 day or 2 days and that's the end of our involvement. There will be post-event follow-up or discipleship for those who want for 6 to 9 months to help ensure that the gains that you've gotten during the conference would remain with you. So we're not just leaving people.
So it's, what I love? I love that we have that continuity, because so many times we have wonderful initiatives, wonderful planning, wonderful spaces that we are having these wonderful discussions, but the event shows up, it happens, we get what we want out of it, but after the fact, there is a drop. There's a space, there is something that is missing. And so we are, most of the times, back to square one. So the continuity, which is so important, that you just mentioned. So we are back with Pastor Obiora. Are you there? Yes, he's there.
Hi,
How are
Pastor.
you today? Okay, so we are unable to hear Pastor Obiora, but that's okay. We are going to continue the conversation. I know that he had some really pertinent points, some really wonderful things to say, so I was hoping to, just get a feel of where he's at, what is his vision for the men in our society, our world, where do we go from here? Why are we why are our men losing their place in society? I remember my father wrote a calypso once, and the calypso was entitled "Where the Men Gone," and it spoke to what was ordained for the man in creation to where he is now. That decline in prominence, in responsibility, in leadership, you name it. And then we have the men who are really trying and really stepping up to the plate. But do we necessarily highlight when this happens?
No, we have not been doing a good job of highlighting the ones who have recognized their places. And
And one of the things that needs to change, the narrative needs to change tremendously. What we have found is that we came to the point where we expect our men not to represent and represent well. And I think when we get there, it's really, really a really low place in our communities, in our society, in our world by extension. What would you like to say to the persons viewing? If you had to inspire someone today, what would you tell them, Lisa?
Okay, so I would like to speak to the men and really let you know that you are in God's plan, that God's plan is for you to be the leader, to be the head of our households, and that your presence in your households, functioning effectively as a father, husband, even a brother, can make the difference in our society. So that our aim, our hope is that really would come out and be reminded of your place. Be reminded that regardless of what has gone on in the past, God still has a great plan for you. It's a good plan. It's a plan for you to take up the mantle of leadership, to forget the mistakes of the past and press on and use all the gifts that you've been given. That once you have the gift of life, there's the opportunity for you to make a difference. And we're really looking forward to having you come out, get together with other men, share things that you don't often get to share, because sometimes even when there are programs for men, women try calling in. There's a radio station where that happens. And we are promising you that this is a space that we've created where you can just come and be your authentic male self with other men, be encouraged, be vulnerable even. Get prayer from other men, and we really want you to go forward and be your best. We're just saying to you that there are women who still believe in you as men. And hence the reason why we're here today. We believe in you. We believe your best as men of Trinidad and Tobago is yet to come. And when you operate at your best, our society will be transformed. And that's what we're looking for.
Definitely. And we get ready to wrap. But just really quickly, how can we reach you for persons who are interested in attending?
Okay, so for persons who are interested in attending, you can register at www.godsanatomyformarriage.com/events. For further information, you call 363-6234. And I'll mention this at the end. Pastor Frank will be at the Lowlands, the Nazarene Lowlands Church in Movietown this Sunday at 8 a.m. So try your best to get to Trinidad. But just in case you don't, you can check him out at the Nazarene Church that's in Movietown this Sunday at 8 a.m.
Thank you so much, Lisa, and we wish you blessings and peace and success in whatever you endeavor to do. This wonderful initiative, this wonderful event. You guys come on out to the gathering of men, and we're going to take a break. We're going to be right back. Book Club Corner is up next. You guys stay tuned. It's going to be wonderful. Our trivia question for today: where in Tobago would you find the Pool of Asylum? And of course, the answer at the end of the show. So see you guys soon. We will return shortly with Brunch, a taste of Tobago.